Good evening, sir. Can
Very
we
good
proceed
evening.
now?
Very good
Can we
evening.
start?
Yes, we are ready to go.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to my respected teacher and my fellow mates. My name is Vanshika, and I welcome you all on the behalf of Dear Delhi team in today's Polity and Governance class by our esteemed teacher, Raghu Sir. So let us begin with our class with a positive quote. It says, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. So, the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." Thank you. Over to you, sir, now.
Okay. Thank you, madam. So, what a moment. What a day. A day in the history of the world. Today, it's in fact a very, very wonderful day. In fact, like it was all well planned. I said to my last batch students about 1 month before that on 23rd, they will be landing on the moon. And dear students, exactly 1 month from now, 23, UPSC Mains written will be over. What I request you is, take the paper. Just try to answer them. Just try to answer. So, and in line with that, this was a very proud moment, very happy moment. In the same way, we want to celebrate your success. We want to celebrate your success. Are you all determined to get IAS, IPS first rank? There are many youngsters here, at least 2 years from now. At the same day, you should be writing mains or you should be preparing for mains. That is my heartily wish. Okay, let me see how many rankers. Okay. So please do answer this question. We are all humans. We're all humans. Are we all perfect? Are we all perfect? Is there any alien here who is not a human? What is your answer? Okay, like most of you are saying, no, we are not perfect. What made you to say like that? I'm very curious, in fact. What made you to say that you are not perfect? Just spend 30 seconds or 1 minute. What made you to say that you are not perfect? Dear students, please listen to me. Your answer is absolutely wrong. We are all perfect, dear students. We are all perfect. We are the masterpieces of God. We are the masterpiece of God. God has taken a lot of time to craft you. How dare you say you are not perfect? Then you are saying that the creation of God itself is not correct. Do you mean to say that? Dear students, you are perfect the way you are. You are the masterpiece of the God. The God, nature, creature is very fair with you. God has thought something for you. That is the reason why that is the reason you are like this. Never ever think that you are not perfect. Always think that you are the most courageous person, most handsome, most beautiful, the most intelligent person on the earth. You shouldn't be like thinking of the past or the present. You should always be in future what you want to be, not what has happened. Do you agree with me? We are all perfect in the way we are, but there is a long way to go. We're in the process. It doesn't mean that we are not perfect. Do you agree with me? We're all perfect. Whatever may be, very, very important. Very, very important, dear students. You have to think whether you are perfect or not, that you are perfect. Say, for example, you are very bad in English. You might be, but you should think that I can speak better English. You should speak that I will speak better English. Before you want to be that person, you have to think that you are that person. Winning happens 2 times. One, the real one, before that in your mind. If you want to achieve, first you think that you have achieved. Many of you said that you are not perfect. What made you say that you are not perfect? First, you think that that is already achieved. Is my point clear to you? Never ever think that you are weak, you are feeble. Whatever may be, you are the masterpiece of God. God has created for a purpose. Don't insult God. Don't say that the creativity of God is bad. By not accepting that you are perfect, you are trying to go in a way which the God has not intended or the Creator has not intended. Are you with me? So, who is the most powerful? Who is the most clear? Who is the most beautiful? Who is the most handsome? It's always you. Right? Never ever, until and unless you don't have this mindset, definitely nothing substantial can happen. Never ever anything substantial can happen, has happened in the whole history when a person has doubted himself. If you don't think that you are perfect, if you don't think that you are strong, the war is lost. I repeat, the war is lost before you have gone for the war. The war is lost before the war is fought. I don't want my students to lose any war. Dear students, I welcome you all to our IAS classes. And very important, everything here are planned. I take this opportunity. It's a historical day. It's a historical moment. I would like to commit myself around, say for example, around 2 months in your preparation. Just give me 2 months. Just give me 2 months. I will make you the master of nearly 20%, 20 to 25% of the syllabus forever. We just need 2 months of yours. Will you be with us for this 2 months? I'll make you master of this 20% of the syllabus, by which nearly 30 to 35% of your prelims mass required for clearing is over. In fact, your polity has overlapping things with respect to ethics and also with respect to essay. And you are a civil servant. Civil servant should know the political things. the polity, the power relations. You are going to be the rulers, right? We just need 2 months, dear students. Just follow what I teach and what I advise with an open mind and without any prejudice or stereotypes. Definitely, I will assure you, by the end of this 2 months, you will thank me. My only motto is to make you the stalwart, the best with respect to polity than anyone. Dear students, I don't have any other business other than to make you succeed. The whole Sambhavam team is with you. Your success is our responsibility. For that, as I always tell, and in the very first class I have told you, first you have to believe yourself. You have to believe yourself. And you have to believe us. That is the only thing required. Right? Anything and everything required for polity, I will be there for you. Don't ever worry about that. Like you may be having already you may be carrying many baggages. So you may be getting some doubts. Definitely, over a period of time, we'll have a lot of deliberations. The class won't be little monotonous as the way it is now, because the tone has to be set. Then only interaction can happen. You are all from diverse backgrounds. So some are there in A for apple, and some are there like I for ice cream. Some are in the process. Don't worry. Whether you are in A for apple, B for ball, or C for cat, we'll see that you will go for X, Y, Z. Right? Okay. Just 2 months, dear students. Just listen to me. Just read what I say, what I give. All other things will be there, definitely. Just 2 months. That's it. If you are listening to my class and doing other extracurricular activities, you may not get that flow. Everything here is planned. Every class, every minute. The thing what I am talking now is planned. Why? It is for you. Right? Okay. Let's get started with the classes. What is democracy? Please do answer. What is democracy? Very good form of government where people rule. People select rulers. Very good principle. Ideals, aspirations, very good. Very good. Dear students, based on the same thought, same line of thought, we will understand democracy still better. And I'll just give a brief introduction with respect to some of the UPSC essay questions in this regard also. We'll try to cover the essay topics related to the topics we'll be covering side by side. Please concentrate here. These are the UPSC essay questions which have come in relation to democracy. Whether Indian democracy. Second, how far has democracy in India delivered the goods? What have we gained from our democratic setup? In the context of Gandhiji's views on the matter, explore on a evolutionary scale the terms Swadhinata, Swaraj, and Dharmarajya. According to Gandhiji, what is the meaning? Critically comment on this contemporary relevance to the Indian democracy? Right? These are the only questions which have come from last like 25 to 30 years with respect to democracy. I'll be giving side by side all the questions which were given by UPSC in the last 30 years as we proceed. In fact, I thought of going through all the questions in the beginning itself, but like some said that we are very new. Please, I want to make this point clear to you. Those who are young, very young, those who have just come, those who have just started, never ever think that we are very new. As I told you, I am starting from scratch. Just follow what I say, it will be more than sufficient. Some things which you may not be understanding, you will be understanding as we proceed. Now, let me ask you, like, what is the meaning of whether Indian democracy? Anybody? Whether Indian, way back, some 30 years back, this question was given. What is the meaning of weather? Don't Google the things because many are behind the curtain. I just cannot make out. Decrease. Okay. So why did I ask this one? Very important. Please listen to me. Don't bother to give the meaning. It's okay. Okay, that's great. Like Anjali madam has told, I don't know, sir. That's great. That is the way, that is what I expect. See here, why I said very, very important. UPSC question paper will be in English and Hindi only. So if your mother tongue or anything for that matter, even if you are reading in English, if your mother tongue is Hindi, please convert the whole syllabus. I reiterate, not everything and anything, just the syllabus to Hindi. Hindi syllabus is already there. Please go through that. And also for those of you who will be writing in Hindi, please refer or convert the whole syllabus into English. Because question papers will be set in English, afterwards it will be converted to Hindi. Many times things won't be clear. So whether Indian democracy, see, if you don't know the meaning of this term, you cannot write. And just these things carry 1,000 marks, dear students, like nearly 500 marks. 500 marks. Previously, like before 2013, all these questions were for 200 marks. 200 marks. Now, it will be for 125 marks. So if we take our recent calculation, 500 marks is in front of you. Whether Indian democracy means where is our democracy heading towards? Means what is the present status and where are we heading? Where are we heading? And very important here, whether Indian democracy, you have to take these things. One is has the political system, that is the system of government. The Indian democracy, here you have to add Indian society also. Do we have democracy in Indian society? Do we have democracy in our family life, in our individual life? All these dimensions have to be answered. If you are concentrating only on democracy as a form of government, your answers will be very narrow. Okay, let me see some messages. How to write answers? Definitely we'll let you know. We are all here. We are going step by step. See the homework I have given you. Please try to do those things. Keep it with you. Like we'll in very shortly, I'll tell you as to where you can post those things, where we can interact. I will look into those things. Right? Okay. So now let me just elaborate the meaning. Whether Indian democracy means to what place is Indian democracy moving? Or what is the condition? To what condition Indian democracy meaning? So here, analysis of the challenges and prospects of Indian democracy should be done, the current state and where it might be headed. Say, for example, democracy. Democracy, the concept in the Indian society. What is the position of women? Where it will head in future? At the same time, you should analyze the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats of the democratic system. So you have to consider factors like challenges of Indian political dynamics, shift in the public opinion, challenges to democratic institutions, or any other development that impact the functioning of the democracy. Right? Just here, what I expect from you is just read and just think as to how can the answer be written. So very important, dear students, when I give homeworks, what the only thing I expect is use your logic, your thinking, your analysis, and what I have thought. Please don't ever search in Google or refer anything, because they are incidental. Definitely you will be doing those things. But what I want is, I want you to first think, afterwards refer those things. Okay. These are the questions with respect to democracy. No other question has come. Okay. Now, so there was in fact another slide. Okay. That is missing with respect to India. Okay, not a problem. Right. So now moving with the things what we have already discussed. What is democracy? What are the features? Why democracy is one of the most prevalent form of government? So in answering the things, we have gone through all these things. One is democracy as a political system, democracy as a principle, where there is consultation, where is consensus as a principle of decision making, and also as an ideal of equality with respect to information, education, resources, and so on. Okay, meaning of democracy in that it's a form of government where people are directly ruled, equal opportunity and individual merit, decision making, all these things we have gone through, right? So yesterday, like we have understood the concept with respect to liberty, equality, and fraternity. Here, dear students, in fact, to be precise, this concept is social democracy. Is it clear to you? So the conceptual family or the conceptual cluster democracy concept, we have to write this. For social democracy, the things what we have discussed, you have to write this. So today we'll discuss this and we will elaborate the concept of democracy further. Okay. Okay. So please give due attention here. In the present age, democracy is just not limited to political democracy. Political democracy means the system of government. It is not related to only related to that. It means more than mere form of government. In its comprehensive form, for all the questions, for all the 4 questions in essay, you have to take this broader meaning. Even in your interview, in your essay paper, mains paper, in all the places. Comprehensive form, democracy means and ought to mean a form of government, a type of state, democratic state. Say, for example, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is also a state. It is not a democratic state. There is a government. What is the nature of that government? And also, it is pertinent to the pattern of social system, a design of economic order. What is the economic order? So democracy, the meaning of democracy includes form of government, type of state, the pattern of social system, the design of economical order, the way of life. Is the way of life democratic or not? Democratic decision involves consultation and also consent. So democracy is also a principle. Please give your attention. Democracy is also a principle. So what is that principle? In this, how the decisions are taken. Is there consultation done? Is consent taken? An ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. So it's also an ideal standard, and also it's an aspiration. The meaning of democracy today is entirely different from the meaning of democracy some 100 years back. Democracy as a concept itself is evolving, still evolving. So with respect to notes, like many of you have raised this question, sir, what about notes? I'll dictate notes, but the only thing like why I was not dictating is majorly for one reason, that it may take time. But don't worry, I'll be dictating the notes, very simple notes. So before that, what I expect is, please go through all the PPTs which I have provided. If I have given 100 PPTs, your note should be only one page. Is my concern heard? Is it clear to you? If I have given 100 PPTs, you have to make a short note, a very, very short note. What I am giving is already a notes. So should we make the notes? The question itself is wrong. The things what I am giving, what is there? Laxmikanth. Laxmikanth is a guide, it's a notes. What you have to be making is not notes, very, very short notes. Is it clear? So first try to do that. Afterwards, like we'll see like how you will make, and afterwards I will take the things. How to know what is asking in the question. How to, you will come to know, it's just the beginning. See, dear students, here very important. If you are starting reading newspaper, really it will take minimum 6 months to understand each and every aspect of Hindu newspaper if you are starting now. So if you start writing the questions now, it will take nearly 3 to 6 months for you to understand the question and write the answer. Is this point clear to you? If you start writing now, it takes nearly 6 months for you to write normal answers. Definitely, I will look into all your answers. The thing is, you have to write. So not for you, to make you write. My always I have a standard. What is that? You have to write minimum 30. You have to write minimum 30 questions. In fact, I have reduced. Previously, it was 100 questions. After you write 100 questions, then I will start correcting the things. One fine day, you woke up and you wrote something and you said, sir, please correct. I can correct, but it is not the appropriate way. It will decrease your moral. If I say like out of 100, if I give 10 marks, it will decrease your moral. Right? So this is the all exclusive thing. Anything with respect to democracy should include all these things. Are you with me? Are you able to connect the things? Is the concept of democracy clear to you? So democracy is not just about the political thing. It's way bigger than that, right? So very, very important. One more point. All the slides, all the material, what I give is prepared from the very, very standard source. Number one, Constitution. Number 2, NCERT. Number 3, IGNO material. Number 4, NIOS, and National Institute of Open Source Learning. So these are the major sources. Along with that, PIB, Yojana and Kurukshetra. These are the main sources of mine. These are the main sources. So you can blindly take the things what I give, because these are the UPSC sources. That is from where the UPSC is picking, right? Very important. Please listen to me. Therefore, because of the following things which we discussed, when we say that India is democracy, what you should think of is that we mean not only that it's a political institution and the process with respect to democracy, but also the Indian society and every Indian citizen is democratic. I repeat, when we say that India is a democracy, don't just concentrate about the political thing, government, legislature, executive, judiciary. It means that Indian society and Indian citizen is democratic in his family, in his community, in his school, in his college, reflecting the basic democratic values of equality, liberty, fraternity, secularism, and justice in the social environment and the individual behavior. Right? Did you get new ways of thinking? Did you get the new meaning of democracy? Based on this thought, based on this understanding, try to answer the previous year questions which I have given. Mean to say that with respect to democracy, you have to put these things: equality, liberty, fraternity, secularism, justice, not only in the political institution, political processes, but also in your society, in your family, as a citizen, in your social and individual behavior. Whenever you are taking some decisions, are you following these things? Right? It will be little difficult. What do you mean by person as democratic? Means, like, are you, like, your thought, action, behavior, is your thought, action, behavior guided by these things? Are you a democratic person? Means these are the things. Is there any consultation, or you are taking the decision on your own? Right? Okay. So these things we have discussed. Examples are very important. These examples, as I told you, like nearly hundreds of PPTs I have given. I want that all PPTs in just only one page. If you are not making that, simply you are simply writing the things which are there. This we have covered. Okay. So let me explain this with respect to one of the most important one. Democracy is a form of government where people elect the rulers, rulers take majority decisions, and people have the opportunity to change the rulers. They have got the opportunity to change the rulers, and the people have equal choice and equal opportunity. All people have equal choice and equal opportunity, and the rulers are governed or guided by the constitution and also the rights of citizens. Okay. This we are done with. Okay. This is one of the most important. Ambedkar, just before, like one day before the enactment of constitution, says that we should never go for the unconstitutional methods. We should always go for the constitutional methods. This is very, very important, because often, like every year, there will be minimum 2 questions relating to Gandhiji. I reiterate, in every year in Mains, there will be 2 questions relating to Gandhiji. So definitely they may be asking, how relevant are the Gandhian methods or the civil disobedience movement, non-cooperation, satyagraha? There you have to quote what Ambedkar has said. And in the second point, Ambedkar gives a very, very high importance to liberty. And also he says that you should not give anyone such powers, such high powers that enable him to subvert the institution, subvert the democratic process itself. And also he says that we must move from political democracy to social democracy. So what is social democracy? What is social democracy? Please do answer this. What is social democracy? Let me see how many of you have internalized the thing. Very good. Having equality. Okay, very good. In that, you have missed one important thing. Way of life. Way of life, where there is liberty, equality, and fraternity. That you have missed. Please do add that one. Okay. Okay. We have done with these things. Okay. Now please do. Okay. The conceptual family or the conceptual cluster of democracy. This includes autonomy, rights, liberty, and equality. Dear students, let me ask you one thing with respect to rights. So in our class, you have got the right to communicate with me through messages. Through messages as of now. In future, like you will be through oral methods also. Do you agree? Do you have got the right to communicate with me through messages? Now, let me ask you, from where did you get this right? Very important, like we'll be dealing fundamental rights later, but this should be the basis for your understanding. What is the basis for these rights? What is the basis? Please restrict your thought to what I have told. Okay, right to information. Okay, plus like I request you to restrict to our class itself. You have got the right to ask questions. You have got the right to ask questions. From where did you get that right? Was that right given by me or by Sambhavam initiative, the Diya organization? Or do you have the rights given for you on your own? What is your answer? Okay, now come back to another topic. Apart from this, you have got right to education or right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Are these rights given to you by the government or the constitution, or you already have this in you? Very good. So that is the reason I asked you this question. Dear students, the rights which are there, these are just confirmed. I reiterate, these are confirmed, or you got the legitimacy or legality. That's it. Say, for example, right to life, freedom of expression. These are the basic things required to lead a good life. To lead a good life. So rights are the basic things, minimum things required to lead a good life. Here, these are assured once again that this won't be infringed by the government or the constitution. Similarly, here, you asking a question in the class is the basic requirement for proper understanding of the things. Is my point clear to you? You should have the right to speak in the class. You should have the right to ask questions. Why you should have the right? To understand the things better, to raise your doubts. So these rights are legitimized or guaranteed by the institution. Is my point clear to you? Mean to say that rights are the basic things which all individual requires. So these are not given by anyone. These are just recognized. Okay, don't worry. We'll discuss with these things later. Now let me ask you another fundamental question. What is the difference between animals and humans? What is the difference? To put this in a easy form, what is that one thing which is present in humans and which is not present in animals? Very important to understand this concept. We have dealt rights. Now this concept, what is one big difference between animals and ideology, subconscious, rights, intellectual power, logic, faith? Decision making using brain. Okay. Okay. Very good. So, in fact, in the in a larger context, we can say that culture. Culture is missing. See, what is culture? What is culture? Please define culture in 3 words, which I have told you. What is culture? Way of life. Like, this is normal. I have given the most accurate. One generation to another, learned. Very good. Then accepted by most members of the society. Very, very important. Please give due attention. Culture is anything which is passed on from one generation to the another, which is learned, which is accepted by most members of the society. Say, for example, cell phone or the Chandrayana, what we conducted. Did your generation invent that? Did the technology was invented by your generation? Let me make this point clear once again. Say, for example, think that this is the earth and there is a hole here. And there are termites here. There is one monkey. There is one monkey here. This monkey uses a stick. It is putting that stick inside the termite hole. And the termites come out, and afterwards the monkey is eating the termites. This is a technique. This technique the monkey has learned by seeing other monkeys. But this technique is not been passed on from one generation to another. Very, very important. Please understand this point. We have got immense knowledge because of culture. After some time, that with respect to evolution of man gradually happened. After that, in that one stage, almost his brain capacity, his cerebral capacity became constant. Afterwards, the evolution what we had is in fact cultural. The knowledge what one had, they are passing on from one generation to another. Say, for example, a cockroach. Cockroach learned something. Is this cockroach passing on that knowledge to next cockroach, next generation? Please do listen and answer. Is the cockroach passing on the knowledge it gained from one generation to another? No, they're not passing on. That is adoption. See, that is by biologically, but they are not learned. Think about the situation. Cockroaches, like telling all the secret to their young ones. How the things would have been. Say, for example, there is a dog. This dog has learned some things. Is this dog making the baby dog learn all the things what it has learned? No. If that would have the case, the things would have been like entirely different. Here, most important thing is only humans are able to pass on the learned things from one generation to another because they have got language. Because they have got language, and this language is symbolic. Very, very important. Only humans have language. That language is symbolic. Say, for example, so what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Okay, many might have not understood this because, say, for example, now, what is the meaning of this? I have written something in Chinese language. What is the meaning of this? Means they are symbolic. Say, for example, there's a father. Father want to teach his son that snake is very dangerous. Snake is very dangerous. So father can explain the child, even in the absence of snake, that there is a creature which moves like this. It is very harmful. Please do avoid. Did you get the meaning of symbolic language? But a monkey cannot do that. The monkey has to wait till the snake comes and it has to show that is the snake. You have to avoid those things. Only because of this symbolic language, man is able to pass on the learned behaviors. Right? So here, in line with this, apart from this, forget about culture. The most important thing in line with the concept I explained is humans are capable of making decisions on their own. They are autonomous beings, and also they are able to make them freely. Individuality. Let me explain this. Right? So autonomy means individuals are autonomous beings capable of rational thought and therefore of determining what is good for them. Please understand this concept within the concept, the cluster concept of democracy. So democracy includes autonomy, rights, liberty, and equality. Means all these things have to be present in democracy. Autonomy means possessing control over our own individual persons, decisions, and life choices. We are also members of collective, right? So to sum up in a very, very simple way, autonomy means possessing control over our person, decision, and choices, right? So now this is with respect to individual. But what about when we are part of a society? When we are part of the society, society makes some decisions. We should be part of the decision making. Why? That is one of the prime requisites for autonomy. We are also members of collectives. Decision taken in these affect our lives. Hence, we should have right to participate in making of those decisions. This is an act of self-determination, right? So it's very important concept. Why people should participate in decision making? Why people should participate in decision making? Because the decision taken by the society or the collective or the group affects the individuals. When you are part of the decision making, it is a form of autonomy or an act of self-determination. Is this clear to you? Okay, let me explain this again, because this is a new concept which many might have heard for the first time. I will explain, but now rights. So with respect to rights in Western political thought, basically to begin with, always they say that right to life, liberty, and property are the most important things, and government should protect these things. It is a job of the government to protect the individual's life, liberty, and property from being undermined by other individuals and the state alike. So state should also give due consideration for the rights of the people. It asserts that all individuals, by virtue of being humans, equally possess their rights. So it is a concept of libertarianism. Libertarians say that this hand is mine. I should be allowed to do whatever I want. This marker which I am using is mine. I should be allowed to do whatever I want. This body is mine. I should be allowed to do whatever I want with my body. Don't say what is right, what is bad. So I have got some inherent rights. The only limit for my right, what should be the limit for my rights? Right should be equal. Right should be equal to all. And also, it should be most exhaustive to the maximum possible. If we want to limit the rights of a person, what should be the criteria we should take? Until not affect the others. Very good, very good. So the only limit to curtail your rights is if your right is coming in the way of others' right, because rights are equal. In the name of your rights, if you are infringing upon others' rights, that should be curtailed. So protecting these rights, at the same time, freedom and equality. Freedom and equality are said to be two competing claims. Two competing claims. The whole world was polarized before 1990 based on this concept. Former USSR gave more importance to equality, socialism. USA, the bloc USA, gave more importance to freedom, liberty. See here, freedom and equality are the cornerstones of any liberal democracy. Please understand, this is a very important one. Freedom and democracy are very, very important. But on which you are stressing makes the entire democratic process in a different way. It takes a different trajectory. I repeat, freedom and equality are the cornerstones of any liberal democracy. A greater emphasis on one or the other take the democracy in a very different direction. Think of a situation. You are giving more importance to freedom. More importance to freedom. So what does that mean? As I told, liberty. You should be allowed to do whatever you want. Don't say what is good. Don't say what is bad to me. This body is mine. I should be allowed to do whatever I want. If there is a consent, you shouldn't say that homosexuality is wrong. Who gave you that right? Similarly, equality. On the other hand, if you give more importance to equality, this turns out to be giving rise to the other part, that is the social and economic aspect. If there is equality politically, political equality means one person, one vote, one value. It is useless until and unless there is same equality in social and economic aspect. Let me sum up. Freedom and equality are the cornerstones of any liberal democracy. A greater emphasis on one or the other takes the democracy in a different direction. If our starting point is the principle of freedom, the state should play a limited or minimal role. State should not interfere in. Even they go to the extent that state should not tax. Say, for example, I like alcohol. I should be allowed to drink alcohol. This happened. One of my friends went to, in fact, German, and other case also in some of the states of America. So when he went to coffee shops like this, there was a tray where they offered all the things like brown sugar, ganja, charas, all these things. There, the drugs are legalized because they feel you should be given the freedom. You are a rational person. You have got the autonomy. You can think what is good for you. Society or some other person shouldn't tell what is good, what is bad for you. If that goes on, tomorrow I will come and say, you don't wear this kind of dress. Why are you wearing this kind of dress? Tomorrow you will say some other thing. Right? If equality is the starting point of our theory, former political equality is of little use unless we remove the disadvantages that we suffer from an account of social and economic inequality of caste and class. Right? So, to conclude, the conceptual understanding of the democracy includes that there should be autonomy, rights, liberty, and equality. If these things are not there, we cannot say that there is democracy. Right? Let me elaborate this autonomy as given in IGNOU material. Right? Autonomy is linked to our rights, freedom, equality. concepts of right, equality, freedom are once again linked to one another, and they are most central to the concept of democracy. Underpinning this is the principle of individualism. So autonomy, individualism, and individual autonomy. The principle of autonomy expresses the value that we attach to passing control over our own individual persons, decisions, and life choices. I repeat, the principle of autonomy expresses the value that we attach to possessing control over our own individual person, decision, life choices. It simply says that we should be the ultimate decision maker with respect to our choices. You shouldn't be telling, society shouldn't be telling, state shouldn't be telling, government shouldn't be telling what is right, what is wrong for me. Individuals are autonomous beings capable of rational thought. Why people should be given this autonomy? Because they are capable of rational thought. Rational thought means based on logic, reason, and therefore of determining what is good for them. So this is in the individual capacity in broad sense. Then what about when it comes to the society? How the concept of autonomy explained when it comes to society? In case of society, some decisions are taken. In case of government, some decisions are taken. If you are part of that decision-making process, then it's an act of self-determination, and it is said to be autonomy. So I reiterate these things. However, while we are individual acts for ourselves, however, while we are individual acting for ourselves, we are also members of collectives or associations, and decisions taken in these affects our life. Hence, we assert the right to participate in making of these decisions, and this constitutes an act of self-determination. As such, as a decision we make in our private lives about our career and our personal matters. So this is very important. Here we have touched upon a very important corollary, that is why one should participate in decision making. One should participate in decision making because this is an act of self-determination, means you are determining what you want by participating in decision making, right? Okay. So these are some of the things. Please go through these things. Okay. So as I told, the meaning, the concept of democracy in any question, democracy should include all these things. Form of government, type of state, social system, economic order, way of life, culture. As a principle, democratic decision involves consultation and consent, ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become, and also it's an aspiration. Right. Okay. So coming to the homework, like how many of you have tried completing the homework? What are the arguments for democracy? And with respect to the concept of equality, liberty, fraternity, please don't worry, because we'll be taking up these things in depth. When we take the constitution, when we take the preamble, I'll like combine preamble and also constitution. Article 14 to 18 all deal with equality, afterwards liberty. These are in-depth concepts. I will deal with these things as we proceed. As of now, I feel this will suffice, because if I go on explaining those things, it will take long time. Completing democracy topic may take another 3-4 hours. Okay, what are the arguments for democracy. Why we should have democracy? Please let me know your answers. Voice of people. Then elected rulers, it gives accountability, checks and balances. Then, so with respect to options, don't worry, we'll deal with those things. Transparency, majority rule, smooth functioning, participation of people. Yeah, please go ahead, shoot the points. For peace, equality, very good. Consultation, very good. Okay, great. So here, like some of the important things you have missed is good decisions. Good decisions are made in this government. I'll explain this thing. In this government is accountable to people. Government is accountable to people. And the dignity of the individual is very high. You are not ruled by anyone. You are the ruler. You are the king in democracy. And also you get to learn from the decisions. Humanity will be upheld. Okay, I'll explain these things. Now, let me know. What are the arguments against democracy? Limitations. Political instability, corruption, very good. Exploitation, government, checks and balances, bias, nepotism. Less women representation, good answer, good way of thinking. No morality, oh, directly from NCRT, right? Naxalism, not fully practical. Reservation, you can't write those things here. Expensive, okay. Okay. Okay, now please listen to me. Now, great. Okay, I can make out many senior citizens in the room. It's very nice. Okay, what are the challenges to Indian democracy and corrective measures? I'll discuss these things too. Okay, let us go one by one. Arguments against. So, argument against democracy. So, when we say, what happens with respect to decision making? What happened to decision making? Number one, who is having control? Who is having control over, say, for example, granting money? Who is having the power to grant money in a democracy? Which organ of the government has the power to grant money? Don't write dollars. We are all Indians. Please do write money symbol. Who has the right? Who has the power to grant money? Parliament, not legislature, my dear students, not legislature. Not RBI, not RBI. Not finance minister. Not finance minister. Dear students, very, very important with respect to money, with respect to any policy. It is the legislature which has money, which has the power. So I have told you during budget session, the legislature grants money. That money will be used by the executive. So your executive means, for now you understand, minister. Your ministers don't have the power to take money from the treasury. They have to use the money which has been granted to them by legislature. Then money is granted by the legislature. Then it is taken by the executive. Afterwards, whether this money is being properly utilized or not, or the laws, or the things related to constitution, are they followed or not, is looked into by judiciary. Means decisions take long time. Decision takes long time. Then that is one. So decision making becomes delayed. Number two, like I'll answer them in a systematic way before that to just give some idea. With respect to the stability. So 2024. In 2024, we have got elections. So here the government may change. If you take the example of 1990s, there was a highly unstable governments. Even a person from Karnataka state, Raghu Gowda, he became the PM just by having some 30-40 MLAs. So here there is an element of instability. Third, who are the rulers in democracy? People. Most of the people don't know what exactly it requires to rule themselves or what is to be done with respect to administration. They are ignorant. So you are giving the power to rule to those people who don't know what to do with that power. And democracy, in democracy, there is huge corruption. What is the main reason for corruption? I reiterate, what is the main reason for corruption in India? What is the root cause? Very good, electoral competition. Because here it is a cycle. Say, for example, for a person to win your MLA or MP, so he has to give money. So that money has to be taken. From where will they take? They take from the funds which is being donated by the people, the taxpayers' money. In a systematic way, dear students, these are the important arguments against. Leaders keep changing in democracy. This leads to instability. So here you have to write the key points. Say, for example, those of you who are making notes, what should be written? Instability. Next, leaders change. These are the only two words which you should be writing. Democracy is all about political combination and power play. This leads to this no scope for morality. It is often said that politics and ethics cannot go together. I repeat, it is often said that politics and ethics cannot go together. It has been asked in your essay and also ethics paper. Your answer should be, there are some instances, but politics and ethics should go together. Many people have to be consulted in a democracy. That leads to delay in decision making. Next, elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. It leads to bad decisions. So what is the main reason for bad decisions? Your leaders won't be knowing what exactly the problem you're facing. Democracy leads to corruption, for it is based on electoral competition. Right? So these are the key things. So for those of you who want to make notes, just you have to write the things which I highlighted in red. That is the way of making notes. So this slide can be noted in just this space. Some 5 letters is more than sufficient to sum up this slide. Okay. Let me see your messages. Okay. Okay, great. There are some students who are like going one step ahead than me. They're taking Aristotle, all these things. Very nice. Ordinary people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. So these are the things. But here the most important thing is very, very important. Please concentrate. As it is said, democracy is not the best form of the government, is not the best form of the government, but it is the best among the available alternatives. I repeat, among the available alternative, democracy is the best. Can you name any form of government better than democracy that the civilizations have faced? Do you think there is any form of government which is better than democracy? So here, like the argument is, democracy might have not yielded all the things needed. Democracy might not be the best, but among all the governments, all the varieties, what we have faced till date, it is the best. The arguments which we just discussed show that democracy of this kind we see may not be the ideal form of government. But that is not the question we face in real life. The real question we face is different. Is democracy better than other forms of the government that are there for us to choose from? I repeat, is democracy better than the other forms of the government that are there for us to choose from? Like we have seen the military rule in Myanmar, what is happening in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in Mexico, in Zimbabwe. All these examples are very, very pertinent. So among all the available forms of government, invariably democracy is the best. Coming to the arguments again is for democracy. Very important, please concentrate. What happened in 1962? Any very, very important event happened in 1962. What was that? Very good. I appreciate your knowledge is simply great. Okay. So what was the main reason? What was the main reason for that? The reality is China's famine of 1958 to 1961 was the worst recorded famines in the world history. I repeat, it is one of the worst recorded famines in the world history. More than 3 crore people died of starvation. So here, to appease the people, to divert the attention of the people, in fact, it is said that China waged a war against India. At the same time, India was also facing the difficulties. But the famine of the kind which was present in China never happened in India, because here the government, I repeat, here the government was democratic. Democratic government is responsible for the people. And it is often said No large-scale famines have ever taken place in an independent and democratic country. Very, very important one. So what is the argument here? Here, when the government is responsible or accountable to the people, the kind of decision it takes are entirely different. That was one of the reasons why we had war at that point of time. This is what happens even with Pakistan. So if Pakistan, like to appease their people, they always divert their attention towards India. Say, for example, you know the current state of affairs of with respect to economy, what is happening in Pakistan. So instead of solving those things, they want to divert attention of the people by blaming India or waging some pseudo wars, things like that. Okay. So here from the example, we can make out that a democratic government is a better government because it is more accountable form of government. Next, in democracy, there will be always consultation and the decisions are taken by consensus. Dear students, in democracy, the decisions are based on consultation. Think there is one person who is taking the decision. In democracy, for a decision to happen, there are three organs. There is a process. Say, for example, a bill has to be passed. So the bill has to be introduced in, say, for example, one house. It will be introduced in Lok Sabha. That bill has to pass. Rajya Sabha has to pass that one. Then afterwards, you have to get the assent of the president. Then there is also judicial review. See the process. And before the bill is passed, it is kept for public opinion. And also the press will act upon this. Please look into the process of decision making. So these are the minimum things which happen in democracy. In any dictatorial form of government, there is only one person and he will be taking the decision. Are you able to connect the dots? In democracy, there is consultation, there is discussion. So the decisions will be very good. So since the government is accountable, responsible, and also there is consultation, discussion, and consensus, democracy improves quality of decision making. Democracy provides a method to deal with the differences. In a country where there is huge diversity, there is no, we cannot say at any point of time that there is always one winner. One of the most important things, say for example, secularism. What is secularism? Separation of separation of the state power. Secularism means separation of the state power and the religion. State is sovereign. State is having power. If this power is used against some minority, then you can think what will happen. It will infringe on the rights of the minorities. Don't think that secularism is a concept which will act between the religions. No. It is intra-religion. It is between the sects. Say, for example, now you consider the things which are happening in the Middle East. In Middle East, there is only one religion, but they are very, very bitter enemies. Bitter enemies. Okay. So democracy provides a method to deal with differences and conflict. Democracy provides only peaceful solution to this problem. In democracy, no one is permanent ruler, no one is a permanent loser. Different groups can live with one another peacefully. In a diverse country like India, democracy keeps our country together. Democracy enhances the dignity of the individual. Dignity, very, very important. Democracy is based on the principle of political equality. When you are equal with all, you have a worth in yourself. You have got a worth that should be respected by others. Dignity. It recognizes that the poorest and the least educated have the same status as the rich and the educated. Think that there is a election process here. Here, say for example, Modi ji want to vote. He has to come in the queue. Ambani, he has also come in the queue. And there is one person who is working as a servant in their home. He will also have to have the same thing. That increases his dignity. People are not just subjects of a ruler, they are the rulers themselves. Even when they make mistake, they are responsible for their conduct. Okay. Democracy is better than other forms of the government because it allows us to correct its own mistakes. I repeat. So democracy is a better form of government because it allows us to correct the mistakes. Say, for example, in Zimbabwe, say, for example, in Mexico, after independence, there was only one government. It was committing heinous crimes. There was no way to correct. In democracy, there is no one has a winner always. There are every chance that the person who are ruling, person or party which is ruling, there are high chance that they will lose in future. Right? So these are some of the advantages of democracy. Now, what are the challenges for Indian democracy? So what are the challenges for Indian democracy? For this, you have to think of the whole concept of democracy, not just as a political system, but as a social system, as an economic system, at the family, at the individual level. Poverty, eradication, education. Inequality, awareness of value of food, child labor, corruption, very good. Good answers. Biggest hindrance is casteism. Hero worship, very good. No fraternity, very nice. Regionalism, very good. So dear students, challenge to Indian democracy. These are the things. See here, go home and try to relate the things. Just what I expect from you is just think how illiteracy is a challenge to democracy. How, just you have to write 1 or 2 lines. How poverty is a challenge to democracy. Gender discrimination, casteism, communalism, religious fundamentalism, regionalism, corruption, criminalization of politics. political violence. These are the major challenges of Indian democracy. Then what are the remedial measures? What are the remedial measures? The opposite of these things. Literacy, eradicating poverty. See here, please connect these things. In our syllabus, did we come across these things? In our syllabus, we have discussed. Still, we have discussed only GS1 and GS2. In GS2, did we come across these things? Communalism, religious fundamentalism, we didn't, regionalism. So, dear students, these are the ways why poverty should be eradicated, why illiteracy should be eradicated, why gender discrimination. I'm giving a very important point to you all. All these things are hindrance to democracy. Is this point clear to you? One of the points. Okay, so you have to, in any of these things, say for example, if any of these come, say for example, poverty, illiteracy, one of the points should be it is against democracy, right? Next, what are the corrective measures? So there was illiteracy, universal literacy, education for all, poverty alleviation, elimination of gender discrimination, removal of regional imbalances, administrative and judicial reforms, sustainable development, economic, social, and environmental. Right? Okay. Okay, great. So, dear students, it's just the beginning. As we turn to the lessons, all the things will be made clear to you. The concepts of equality, liberty, rights, citizenship, PM, CM, how they work. Great. Okay. Now, just let me know if you have got any doubt. Answer writing will be taken care. Don't worry. Should I start reading the NCERT? You can read. Okay. Like many of you are already asking the question like what to read, what not to read. As I have told you, dear students, just follow what I advise you, what I teach for 2 months. There is no need for you to read anything. But even then you are asking me, let me tell you. First and foremost, you should read NCERT. Please listen to me. You should read NCERT. In that, I have told you like 6th, 7th, 8th. This is one group. 9th and 10th, you take any subject. This is one group. 11th and 12th, this is another group. So here, there is no need for you to read 6th and 7th NCERT. I repeat once again, there is no need for you to read 6th and 7th NCERT. If at all, if you want, at the end of each chapter, there are some terminologies given, like 5 to 10 terminologies. Those are beautifully explained. You can just go through those terminologies. There is no need for you to read any of these chapters. In 7th, unit number 1, that is in that also constitution, secularism is good. You can read that. So there is no need for you read anything with respect to 6th, 7th, and 8th, except this secularism and the terminologies which are given. If you are reading, like if you want to read, you can just read those things. Okay. Then the second is with respect to 9th and 10th. 9th and 10th are very important, and this deals with the whole democratic process. Democratic process. The things which I explained, say for example, democracy. Here, nearly like 50% of the concepts I have taken from chapter number 1 of 9th. So this is not that important from prelims point of view, but for mains point of view, it's important. And coming to the most important NCRT, the most important NCRT is this one, 11th. In 11th, you have got two. One is Constitution at Work. This is very, very important. You have to read. Somehow I will be covering those things. And you have got political theory. This is majorly important for mains. Here the concept of equality, liberty, what is constitution, what is right, what is nationalism, what is development, they are beautifully given. And 12th, they are not important for polity, but they are important for India and world. India after independence. I repeat, 12th NCRT are not directly related to polity, but they give a very broad understanding with respect to India and after independence, India and world. There are specific chapters like globalization. These are very, very important. Religious fundamentalism, all these things I will explain when we take up secularism. So here, dear students, okay, let me tell you once again what to read for those of you. Number one, I'll be covering everything very, very important in a systematic way. For 2 months, my first advice will be just follow what will be happening in class. If I give 100 pages, create 1-page notes, very, very short notes from that. Try to complete the homeworks. That will suffice completely, because as I told you, I will be covering everything. There are some chapters which you have to read. There is no need for you to read entire NCRT. As we proceed, I will tell you from where you have to read also. This is one thing. Next thing is, if at all, if you want, if you are starting, it's advisable that you start from class 9th and afterwards class 10th, afterwards 11th, in that Constitution at Work and political theory. That will suffice. I reiterate, if you want to read, these are the 4 books. 9th, 10th, polity. 11th, in that 2 books. In that, the most important is Constitution at Work. So it is left to you. You can start with 11th standard Constitution at Work, or if you want to understand the things in a very, in a flow, in a better way, if you have time, you can start with the 9th. So the one NCRT which you shouldn't be missing is class 11th Constitution at Work. Right? And all other things, say for example, Laxmikanth, IGNO material, everything what is there, I'll be covering. Okay. Without wasting further much time, please give due attention. Just 10 minutes of yours. We'll just go through the syllabus of GS1 once. If possible, we have an overview of GS3 also, so that you can remember the things forever. Please concentrate. This is very, very important. So culture and history. In this, you have got Indian heritage and culture, where you should be reading art, literature, and architecture. Next, you have got history, in that modern India, From the middle of 19th century, you have to read people, issues, and event. There's no need for you to remember. Just modern India. Modern India from the middle of 19th century means from 1750s, after the Britishers came. 100 years after that, first war of Indian independence happened, and also the formation of Indian National Congress. So here in modern India, there are two important things. One is freedom movement. Freedom movement. The other is India after independence. India after independence. The next two is this. Freedom struggle. Next, India after independence. Here, try to remember these things. Freedom struggle. What is most important? Stages, contribution and contributors. Post-independence, here two things. Consolidation and reorganization. Consolidation and reorganization. Is this clear to you? Can you remember this forever? Very important than the concept which I have already taught. Syllabus should be in your mind. Can you remember this? Any difficulty in remembering these things? I know, like, you may be tired, but take some time. Remember these things forever. Okay. Now, please answer. Next, we have got word history. Word history. So in word history, please abbreviate. What are the things which you should be reading in a sequence? Just write 2-3 words. That will be enough. Alphabets also. I'll see like who has internalized the syllabus. Very good. Then very good. I really appreciate. Okay, great. Now listen to me. So word history, it also starts from the middle of 18th century. What happened here? Industrial Revolution. Because of Industrial Revolution, colonization happened. Because of colonization, World War happened. Because of World War, after World War, all the colonial powers, they lost everything what they had. So decolonization happened. Colonization, decolonization. Afterwards, decolonization, redrawal of national boundaries happened. And you are not telling the political ideologies. What are the political ideologies which you have to be studying? Philosophies. What are different? Communism, very good. Very, very good. Right, that's it. Nothing more than this. So these are the things. Okay, Industrial Revolution, colonization, decolonization, World War, redrawal of the boundaries, and SC, forms and effects. Okay, I hope you can remember these things. Communalism, capitalism, and socialism, right? How many of you have internalized these things? Please take another 30 seconds, once for all. You might have missed some things. Please go through this one. This is very, very important. I have done very good. Very nice. So now those of you who are able to remember these things, just think what were the things present in society, what you should be reading in society. Done? Those of you who are done with this. So one of the most important thing I want to make is to imbibe, inculcate the syllabus in you first, in your mind. When you are reading, You just have to pick up the things which are there in syllabus, nothing more than that. No, in society you are missing many things. Directly you are going to women. Yes, very good society. In society, Indian society, what we have, what should be? FD. Okay, FD, fixed deposit is there. Fixed deposit, very important. Women. So in women, you forgot like one important thing. Who gives birth to child? Women. So after women, population. So if population is there, what will happen? Poverty. Poverty is acute in urbanization. Urban. Globalization, very good. I appreciate, really very, very important. If you like master the 4 syllabus, the way your understanding will be entirely different. So then you shouldn't be searching current affairs, make it, no. Just see whether the concept which is there in the syllabus is present or not. If it is not, don't touch those things. Okay, let me just brief these things. Okay, society, Indian society, features and diversity, women, population, poverty, urbanization. Effect of globalization, you have to remember like this. Effect of globalization on Indian society, social empowerment and CSR. Communalism here, right? So communalism, secularism and regionalism. There's nothing more here. Furthermore, like women, role of women and women organization, population and associated issues, these are general. Definitely you will be reading those things. Poverty and developmental issues, definitely. In urbanization, you should concentrate only on problems, right? Okay. Next, geography. This will be one of the things where I want to test whether you have really mastered geography, the content, what you should be reading. So once again, I reiterate, your syllabus of prelims is equal to the syllabus of mains. Prelims ko kya padna hai? The answer is what is there in mains. In prelims, with respect to geography, social, political and economic geography of India and world, it doesn't say anything. But the syllabus of mains says a lot of things which you have to internalize. Okay, let me see your messages. Physical geography of the world, very good. Very good, very good. Try. Some of you, like I am not reading because like I want you to, like, very good. Try to remember. Weather, okay. Earthquake, volcano, tsunami, great. Pragati, nice. See, like all the things will be taught to you, but you have to keep these things. Physical geography, salient features, important things. Natural resources, please give due attention. Physical geography, number 1, over. Now, second one, natural resources. In that, what you have to look into? Distribution. Very, very important. Natural resources, how they are distributed, where they are distributed. In that, South Asia and India, generally we'll be seeing, not to bother. So natural resources, distribution, primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries. Here, where they are located. Very, very important. See this, I know you have internalized. Please internalize this one. Natural resources, location, and also primary, secondary and tertiary industries, location. That will suffice. If at all, if you want, factor responsible for their location also. Say, for example, agriculture is a primary sector. Why rice is grown here? Industry. So why a industry is present here? service sector. Why this? Okay. The last one, very important, often you forget. This is the one. Geophysical phenomena, TVCE, TV. So tsunami, volcano, cyclone, and earthquake. Very, very important. You shouldn't go to exam without mastering these things because UPSC itself is giving those things. So physical phenomena, geographical features in that flora, fauna. In that flora and fauna, location changes effects. So I repeat the last one. Geophysical phenomena, TVCE. Then geographical phenomena. Here three things. That is features, flora, fauna, plant, animal, location, change, and effects. Location, change, and effect. No, don't bother. Just remember this thing, right? Okay. Okay. Now, please, spare another 5 minutes today with respect to GS3. I'll just brief you. In next session, that will be easy for you to remember. Now, please give due attention. Just concentrate here. Okay. So just 5 minutes. These are 4 subjects. In fact, you can take 6 also, 20 topics. Just know the topics today. 10 topics are related to economy. In that, 4 are related to agriculture. Next, science and technology. Here, there are 3 topics, science and technology. Biodiversity, environmental ecology. Then you have got security and disaster management. Security and disaster management. So here, very, very important, please give due attention, technology. Technology is often in UPSC, vocabulary, they use the term science and technology, but what is given is only technology. Think, use your logic. Technology is the application of knowledge, tools, techniques, all these things. So just keep technology in mind. If you are asked to read about technology, what are all the things a well-educated person is expected to know? I repeat, in technology, what are the things a well-educated person is expecting with respect to technology? Just without going to the syllabus, with your common sense, with your logic, tell me, with respect to technology, what are the things? Very good. Application, new developments, very good. Robotics, achievement, indigenization of very good. Computers. Okay, great. Please listen to me. In technology, you have got 3. One is with respect to development of new technology. Development. So after that, what you will do? Apply. After that, effect. So one is with respect to development. Second, with respect to India, Indians in technology, indigenization. And next is major areas where technology is used. So what are the major areas with respect to technology? Latest happening areas with respect to technology, let me know. For those of you who are still there, I'll give you a very important secret. Latest technology, Chandrayaan, okay, then nanotechnology, very good. Biotechnology, chips, very good. Dear students, very important. Please listen to me carefully. With respect to current affairs, you all, many asked you, what to read current affairs. Dear students, more than 60% of the current affairs questions are from the topics which are mentioned here. Is the point clear to you? Whenever you are reading anything, just concentrate on the topics which are there here. I reiterate, just concentrate on the topics which are there in this paper. As you are aware, GS1, in GS1, you have got history, you have got geography, you have got society. There is no burning current affairs, anything related to secularism or anything. Just Google it, you will get. And with respect to GS2, these are related to polity, major things. And the most volatile is the third one. Very important. Many don't know this. Current affairs के लिए क्या पढ़ना है? PT 365. Oh no, the topics present here. Is this clear to you? Okay. Shall we continue for another 5-10 minutes, or are you like tired? Shall we wind up this session? We'll continue. Very good. You will appreciate. Dear students, please give due attention here. See here, these are the things. Indian economy. Here you have got planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development, employment. This is one difficult thing to remember. Just remember these things. Right? I repeat, Indian economy, we have to plan, mobilize resources, growth and development, and employment. Inclusive growth. A growth which has to include everyone. Sabka saath, sabka vikas. Budget, government budget. Very important. So major crops. Here you have got cropping patterns. Here you have got cropping patterns. So once what is required for cropping? Irrigation. Irrigation. After you irrigate, the crops will be grown. So harvesting has to be done. So there has to be transport. There has to be storage. There has to be marketing. So I repeat, major crops, in that you have got cropping pattern, irrigation types. After you irrigate, crop will be there. So you have to transport, you have to store, you have to market. Here, government interventions. Government intervention. Here you will be studying subsidy, minimum support price. Then you will be studying public distribution system, PDS. So government interventions, in that subsidy, MSP, PDS, and technology missions. Food processing, just remember food processing, land reforms, right? So I won't go in detail, just I will, and no need for you to write down these things. We can discuss, because if I tell all the things, you may forget everything. So Indian economy, inclusive growth, government budgeting. Just remember these three. Then major crops, government intervention, food processing, land reforms. So in agriculture, you should be reading only this. Then liberalization and industrial policy, its effect on industrial growth. So liberalization and industrial policy and its effect on industrial growth. Infrastructure. In this, what are the modes of transportation? You just ask the question, everything is clear to you. For transportation, you need energy. Add this. So what are the modes of transportation? Road. Then another R is there. Which is that R? Another mode of transportation. After road, railways. Okay. Then afterwards, another like P is there. What is that one? Very important, ports. And another is airport. This is it. Nothing more than this. In infrastructure, just remember the transportation, road, railways, port, and airports. For that, energy is required. Investment models, public-private partnership, things like that. So science and technology, very easy to remember. Scientific developments, technology developments, Indians in science and technology, and major fields in science and technology like nanoscience, nanotechnology, biotechnology, space technology, robotics. So environment, pollution, after pollution, it get degraded, then you have to conserve. Then this is very important, environment impact assessment. Environment impact assessment, right? Disaster management, disaster and disaster management. Now here you give due attention here. Next 5 things are with respect to security. So here internal security, think that this is our India. So here one of the form which is a threat to security is extremism. Means the thought, the behavior, the action of some individual are extreme, not normal. What is considered to be normal, it's not there. So that is one of the causes. So extremism, it may be anything. So it may be left wing, it may be right wing, or anything, extremism. So internal security challenges by external state, means other than the Indian states. Pakistan is also a state, external state, and also non-state actors, maybe Al-Qaeda. So next one, dear students, internal security by non-state, external state and non-state actors. Then internal security challenges within the state. So A ho gaya. So outside the state. Now within the state is also over. Next is border areas. Border areas. Internal security in border areas. This. And security forces. That's it, my dear students. Security forces, agencies, and mandate. Please go through this. Spend another 1 minute. You should remember this thing. In my next session, once again, I'll pour some more light on this one. Okay. Concentrate on the slide which is given. Try to internalize. It is the difficult. Among all the 4 syllabus, this is the difficult to remember. I'll tell everything. Pragati is asking, like, should we study different countries' security forces? No. You have to study only. All other classes are well planned. Dear students, like, we don't want to burden you with much of the classes in the beginning. It's just the beginning. Don't worry. Everything, every concept in the syllabus will be covered to you. Don't worry. So how many of you are done with? How many of you can remember at least 30% of the syllabus? Please let me know. 30%. So I want you to leave the room only after you make sure that you can remember at least 30%. Because even after studying for 3-4 years, many students are not aware of these things. Right? Okay. Nice of you. Please try another 1 minute. It will be worth spending. 10%, great. So once we discuss the syllabus once again, you'll remember everything. And I reiterate, you shouldn't be reading anything other than which is present in the syllabus. Current affairs को क्या पढ़ना है, इसमें जो है वही पढ़ना है. Very important, especially with respect to science and technology. Here there are some 6 topics with respect to major fields in science and technology. You should be reading only those things. In tomorrow's class, I'll be elaborating like biotechnology, nanotechnology, robotics. Right? It was a great session. Dear students, just another 2 months, I will make you the masters of polity. which carries minimum 24% weightage. Just remember, your 20% success is over. Having said that, it was a great session. Hope you have enjoyed the session and go through these things. Whatever assignments I have given, try to write. What I expect, the only thing I expect is try to write on your own. आपको ये इंटरनेट वो सब रेफर करना ही है. You put like, you try hard using your gray matter, right? Having said that, let me conclude the session. Enjoy your preparation. पढ़ना आपको मजा देना है. If you are reading anything related to civil service, you should get refreshed. Say for example, if you got bored, आप ऐसा बोलना है, मुझे बोर हो रहा है, मैं जाके कुछ पढ़ूंगा. ऐसा रहना है. Is this clear to you? आपको बोर हो तो क्या करना है? Don't go for YouTube or Instagram. Go for the syllabus. Right? Okay. I thank you one and all. Enjoy your preparation. See you tomorrow, same time.